Hi there, this is Tom Johnson with TomJohnston.org, and today I'm going to talk to you about a concept that I've come up with. I don't know, maybe it's already out there somewhere online, I never actually looked, but I call it just-in-time creativity. And I've modeled this concept, I'll tell you about it in just a moment, on just-in-time manufacturing. If you've never heard of just-in-time manufacturing was a system for producing products that was initially developed in Australia, actually, in the 1950s, and quickly moved towards Japan, where it was really fleshed out and perfected in many ways by Toyota. Toyota was probably the most prominent manufacturer, but more broadly it was Japanese manufacturers. And basically the idea is that when you produce something, you're really narrowing the time gap between ordering products, inventorying them, producing something, inventorying what you've produced, and then selling it. So basically, you go from an order coming in to sourcing the parts to producing it to shipping it in a very, very tightened time frame. It's called just-in-time. There's a bunch of other aspects of this, like slowing down and ensuring there's no defects at the beginning of the process so that you don't have to go back and fix things later, etc. But this video is not about just-in-time manufacturing, it's about just-in-time creativity. What I mean by just-in-time creativity is that you get an idea and you simply do it without a lot of over-analysis or over-preparation. You let this creative endeavor flower through you naturally. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying this is the best way or the only way to approach things. It's one way that is quite lovely in many ways, and quite appropriate for certain types of creativity, writing a short story, writing a poem, even a blog post, even managing a meeting in certain circumstances. And on the other hand, there are definitely certain types of situations, maybe a very elaborate speech or TED talk that you're going to give. You're going to want to be prepped. You're going to want to, have the key points that you're going to make, etc. But nonetheless, for me, just-in-time creativity is an important part of how I write, produce blog posts. And in fact, this video is an effort at just-in-time creativity. To be honest, it's actually the third time I'm going at making this. But I got interrupted. I had a phone call that spoiled it, and then just as I was closing, I got all screwed up. And so I want to be honest with you, I've done this video a couple times, but nonetheless, it was very, very little preparation done. I did write a blog post on this topic that perhaps allowed my thinking to develop a little bit. But there's another aspect of this that I want to talk about before we start to wrap up, and that is, I don't believe just-in-time creativity is possible when you're in the novice stage of whatever it is that you're doing. There are exceptions. You might have never written a poem and you sit down and boom, you write a poem. But in many other areas, writing longer pieces, writing music, running a meeting, managing a group of people, developing a product, you really need expertise. You need to have done the hard yards that allow you to do something effortlessly. And so I want to be clear that there's practice involved, there's knowledge gain, there's all of that you have to develop, and then you can get to this point. Another way of expressing this is this concept from martial arts that's called mind like water. And this is the idea that when you are an expert martial artist, again, there's that business of developing the expertise to be able to do this, but once you're an expert, you are placid like water, and when a dangerous situation comes or somebody comes at you, you're simply reacting to the circumstances with very little tension, with very little forethought, and you're simply addressing it, and then you're moving back into the water space, maybe to address another attacker. And I want to just footnote that I got that idea. I learned about it a long time ago, but it was reminded of it in a book called Getting Things Done that I recently read by David Allen, which is quite useful, and I've written some blog posts on that as well. I'll put links to those in the write-up. So that's the basic concept. that you allow creativity to happen spontaneously. You rely on your expertise to let this flower out. You don't over-prepare, you don't overthink, and you let something happen much more organically rather than kind of trying to strangle it into existence. I speak from experience that I can sometimes overdo things. If anything, I'm generally overdoing rather than underdoing. So for me, just-in-time creativity is a way for me to dial back the thinking and allow the doing to happen a little bit more naturally, hopefully effortlessly, etc. The last thing I want to say is this is still one of the very first videos I've ever made. I'm in the single digits for YouTube videos, and so I don't think I've gotten to a point where I can really do this spontaneous, just-in-time creativity in this format. I feel much more comfortable writing. I've been focused on writing and doing it both for work and personally for many years. Not to say I'm so great at it, but nonetheless I feel more comfortable. So this is my effort to do just-in-time creativity in a format where I'm still in. Sorry about that. My phone actually got totally filled up with videos and cut me off. So I was just about to end this video anyways. And again, that's just-in-time creativity. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. I really do appreciate your attention very much, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.